Let's try a new game of Space Empires Star Trek mod. Last time I tried this, the game crashed on me, so we're going to go with change a little settings here. Maybe it might not crash this time. Let's see what happens. Is she going to do it? Yeah, she did it. Good. Events, let's go with high. Technology cost, low. Good. Starting planets 1. Score all planets. High. Technology level, we're going to go with low, excuse me. Game mechanics. Those are all set. No cheap ones. Players. It's been a long time since I've played this game, so what I'm doing is I'm setting up. I'm going to go ahead and add an existing empire. It doesn't look like there's any preset. There should have been, but there's not, so let's go ahead and add new. There's species 8472, the Borg, the Breen, the Cardassians, the Dominion, the Federation, Ferengi, Klingons, Romulans, Tholians. I'm going to go with the Federation. I played the Klingons so much I'm kind of burned out on them. Empire name, these are all just really random names for types of empires and stuff. You can make your own up if you want. No, we're gonna cancel that. Come on, cancel. We're gonna call them the Tossatonians. Empire type. Imperium. Emperor title. Lord. Emperor name. Atrocities. Of course, I look like Jean-Luc Picard, but that's okay. And what should we use for? I like to use. See if we even have it in here. Cardassian, Klingon, Orion. I don't see it in here. Darn it. I have a specific pack one I like to use called the Caspian, but I'm not seeing. Ah, there she is. I'm going to use the Caspian text. And environment will be oxygen, rock. Culture will be Federation. Characteristics. This is where we mini-max the empire. We need as many research points or points as possible. Political savvy really doesn't mean anything, so I'm just going to drop it down to low as I can get it to go and use those points for combat and stuff. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and shift these up. Make those, max those out. And I'm going to max out my construction aptitude as well. And intelligence, I'll go with mining, 110. Let's do 110 on this as well. And 110 on this as well. Okay, it leaves us with 1,050 points to spend. Going to with advanced traits. This is a required trait. Federation. We got to come down here, and these are placeholders. And cultural trait, normal, homeworld only. Pacifist, we're going to go with normal race, because that's what we are. The other placeholders are going to be like pirate and bandit and stuff like that, but I never got around to finishing the mod. Colonization trait, rock world natives. Now we're back down to 1,050. So now there are both advantages and disadvantage traits. Weapons of mass destruction. This allows players to research and construct doomsday weapons. They're pretty powerful, but we're not going to use those. Advanced power conservation. Propulsion experts. I like propulsion experts, but I'd rather have power industrialists, which will put me into the negative 950, so we're going to have to take some hits on other stuff. I'd like to get mining expert as well, but we'll see if we can fit that in. Don't need research boost, don't need that. Poor power supply, unlucky. We'll take unlucky. Very unlucky, no thank you. Industry challenged. Pack rats. Disorganized mineral storage. We'll go organic disorganized. No, I don't want to do that. That's kind of a pain in the tail. Mining slackers. Organic dilithium. Light research slackers. Medium research slackers. Wow. I don't see any other trade-offs. Normal race, rock, power industrialists. It looks like we're going to have to tweak our characteristics a little bit more. Alrighty, let's go ahead and drop him down to 120. I got us down to 700. Physical strength, we'll drop that down to 90. Cunning, which is intelligence. Oh, we're up to 300 again. We're back up to 300. So, all right. Let's go back here and see if we can spend 300 points on something. Probably won't find anything of value, but we'll find something to spend it on. We'll go with advanced mineral storage, and then go back to characteristics, and we'll bump up repair aptitude by 2. In description, you can just fill in your stuff here if you want. We're a republic, even though technically the Federation's a socialist sort of government. We're not going to play that way. So, okay. And what'll happen is the AI will generate its own random players. I don't want it doing that. I want to specifically add players that I want to play. This is where adding existing empires would come in handy, but evidently the file doesn't have any current folders for that, so oops, my bad. We'll add the Cardassians. Empire name. Dacian. They are an empire. I think it's Gaul. Or Legate. Excuse me, it's Legate. I don't know what it is. We'll just call him Gaul for Supreme Gaul. There we go. Empire, Emperor's name, Door. I have no better name for it. Anyways, design file would be Cardassian, if I can read. Minister style. Be aggressive. Computer, no. Computer control, come on. You select. Perhaps I have to create a thing, come back and tell it to be a computer controlled empire. Environment, culture, it'll be Cardassian. Let's go to advanced traits. Cardassian. This is kind of the boring part of the game, setting this stuff up. Normal race. And there'll be rock natives as well. Cardassians are sneaky little bastards, but we're going to give them hardy industrialists, and give them now neutral or natural engineers. There was other ones in here like slave masters and things like that, and the rest will go into characteristics, I think. At some point I should go ahead and update these files. So alright. Create empire. Now I think we should be able to set it to computer controlled. Yes. There we go. And we'll add we'll add a new one. We'll go ahead and do the Klingons. And of course, Klingon. Nope. They too are an empire. Well, the Cardassians are technically in order, but we'll just call them an empire. You'll have to forgive my spelling. I really don't care if I spell well or not. This is just sort of a demo game to see how well it plays, and there's one of my space stations I made. They're aggressive, using race select style. Use master, blah blah blah. Culture, of course, is Klingon. Come on, where are you hiding at, Klingon? There we go. Characteristics, they are physically strong. They are extremely aggressive. And they have good mining aptitudes. Good refining aptitudes, because they have slave labor. And let's see what else we can dump in here. Race, Klingon. They get, of course, they're getting access to their cloaking technology. They're a normal race. They are rock native. They are yeah, we'll go with hardy industrialists. Mineral experts, organic, and no, can't do those. We can only go 250, so we'll go ahead and go advanced dilithium storage. And description, of course, is not important. Create empire. Edit. Create. Alright. Well, what I'm going to go and do is I'm just going to go ahead and start it with what we have here. And if it works out, I'll go ahead and reset it up and set up the empires accordingly. And from there, we can restart the game. But I just want to see how well it plays, and if this recording software actually works, and I can record this game. So, we will see. And first thing I want to do, of course, is set up my options, make sure everything's okay. Automate, no, we don't want any automation going on. Well, we do want combat automation, but yeah, you trust me, you don't. Fast tactical combat, we do want that. We're going to save every 2 turns. Going to go to Empire options. We're going to turn off most of these. They're just going to get in the way. Go ahead and do some other stuff here. Ship should clear the order spawn. Nope. And show grid lines, show warp lines. Automatically claim systems. That's what we want. Want those. Close, close, and that goes bye-bye. Alright, well, here's our home system. We're in the Davidia system on Davidia 4. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 warp points. Only 1 colonizable planet. Let's see what we got for planets. We have no systems to avoid, and let's see if there's colonies breathe. Nope. Colonizable. We have 4 additional planets that are colonizable. If we look at the facilities on our world, we have of course, we have our planetary capital. Boy, I really need to update these graphics. Our construction yard. These are all game ones. These are from Birth of the Federation. These are all Birth of the Federation, and this here is Space Empires. This is custom. I made that way back in the day. I've got so many better models now. Alright, well, the first thing we're going to want to do, this is a turn-based game. First thing we're going to want to do is design an explorer ship and a colonizer. So we're going to go to the design window, hide obsolete. We're going to create ship, and we have a scout, an escort, a frigate, a colonist ship, and a small transport. We're going to go ahead and go with a scout first because it's cheap, and we're not going to have a lot of resources. And believe it or not, 40 difference of cost between these is significant enough that you don't want to, especially in an early game, don't want to cripple yourself by adding too many too many ships to your fleet, especially the higher end ones. You don't need these just yet. So we're going to go ahead and add a scout class, and we're going to call it a scout class, and we're going to give it a design name, and we'll call this Scout Adventure. What we'll do is we'll change that to SC Adventure, so we know it's a Scout class adventure ship. The requirements are one bridge. You can add a captain. There's no KT cost to that, so we have to add a bridge. Captain basically gives the ship a little bit more combat ability and stuff. We have to have one life support, one crew quarters, and obviously we're going to need engineering. We're going to need a deflector shield. We're going to need structural integrity. We're going to need 2 impulse drives. I'm going to go ahead and go to condensed view. It makes it a little bit easier to see stuff. This is where mounts come in important. As you can see, it's 1000 KT. So for a warp core, we're going to have a propulsion mount, which drops the size to 20 KT, which is what we want. So we add 1 warp core, and the ship should require 2 nacelles, which it does. And I think I can get up to 4 buzzard collectors. Yes, I can. Buzzard collectors basically they help provide power for the ship. And antimatter pods is basically fuel, and we're going to add a few of those. And no cargo is needed. We have things called cargo niches. They're just sort of small spaces or things. Again, we have to come to mounts if we're going to add weapons, which we should add weapons. So we're going to go with primary weapons array and basic phasers. And let's go ahead and add some more cargo or antimatter. We want this thing to be able to go quite a ways. 2 phases is more than enough for this class. We're going to go ahead and create the design, and we're going to create a colony ship, because we've definitely got 4 planets we can colonize. And I believe there it is, colony ship. I always like to call my ships by colony ship rock and Mayflower. Of course, it needs its captain, its bridge, its life supports, crew quarters, engineering, deflector, structural integrity, impulse engines. It only takes 2. Impulse engines are needed for combat moves. We go to the weapons mount, or propulsion mount, and I think this takes 4 nacelles, I believe, and 4 buzzard collectors, and of course antimatter pods to give it some range. And this one also requires a colony mount, so we should go ahead and add that. That'll add 200 KT, I believe. That means we're over. There we go. I'm going to drop 2 of the buzzard collectors and add 1 more storage container, and we're going to create that. At this point, I'd normally create something called a starbase so that I could focus my planetary production towards colonies and the starbase towards ships and stuff, but I'm not going to do that at this point. This is the research tree. It's point based, and it's kind of hard because I don't remember the exact methodology for things. We're going to go with warp technology, of course, probably military science, infantry weapons, shuttle weapons. These are all for defensive purposes. Weapons platform, satellite, Federation energy, torpedo, and planetary weapons. And then we can come up here to propulsion, industry, construction, and finally that's it. And we'll go ahead and repeat these for the time being until we get enough points to it. And let's go ahead and add some stuff to our construction queue. Select our planet. We're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 scouts. 1, 2, 3, 4 construction ships. Each one of these will take 1 turn to construct. So keep our fingers crossed we don't run into too many bad guys. And I processed our first turn. And we have warp to of course we do. The new warp cores are available, but we don't need to upgrade right away, so we'll be alright. This ship has 2 movements. It has a range of 4,200, whatever the heck that breaks down to, but it's got a fair bit of range. We're going to go through the first warp point, and it goes into a nebula. And we have no more turn points left, so we're going to go ahead and just tell it to give it orders, and this is the path it's going to follow. It's going to take 4 moves to get to there, and there's pretty much nothing else we can do. This tells us what our Empire basic discoveries were, or achievements were during the last round. And as you can see, some of these components are pretty old. Gonna have to definitely update the component pack. Gonna process the game. Looks like there are 13 other players. We have our second adventure class, and we're going to order him through this warp point. Of course, we know this ship hasn't done anything yet, so we can go ahead and process our turn. We should have our third. There she is. We're going to go to her, give her her orders to go through that warp point, and we've entered a new system, and we have a nice asteroid. It's got some good resources on it. Asteroid mining in this game is a key to success. I'm going to tell you that straight up. You got to plan for asteroid mining. Looks like there's only 2 warp points out of here, so we'll go ahead and take the lower one. Oops, I got to give it order 2. That's odd. I wonder why she's not taking any orders. Huh. Well, we'll see in a second. Go ahead and process the turn, see what happens. We have our 4th construction, or 4th adventure. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Well, now we have a colony ship. Okay, crud. Let's go ahead and you move through there, and then... Oh, that's what I did. Okay. I'm going to hit the backspace button, and I'm going to tell it to move to there, see if that works. It's been a while since I've used these controls, so you know. And it didn't work. Oh well. I'll figure it out as I go. And I don't see any other warp points in its system, but I know there's at least... Oh, there's one. And let's go ahead and check out our colony ship. Let's see what we got here. There's our other Mayflower, and we'll move him through that warp point. Okay, for some reason, it might be the game itself is giving me issues. I don't know. I can't really tell. I'm going to colonize just to see if it'll colonize, and it looks like it's going to. You have to give it the order to colonize. If you do it manually, it may not pick up people, and if it doesn't pick up people, of course, the planet will be empty when it gets colonized. And we also have a new system down here from the looks of it. And we're going to move to... This is really weird. I wonder why I'm not getting my... Oh, okay. Okay, I see now. It's been a while. We'll figure it out as we go. It may not right-click. It might have to be all left clicks. We have another Mayflower constructed. At this point, we know we've explored some systems, and as you can see, we have quite a list of planets now. We're going to go with Colonizable Breathe, and there's 2 of them. We're going to send colony ship to the first one, of course. Take this one here, and we're going to tell him to go through there. And this is an old game, so some of the buttons are a little unintuitive like they used to be. Very intuitive. Now they're not because of the fact that it's an older game. And I select my ship, I tell it where I want it to move, and she moves there. And we got anything here? We're going to... Oh, backspace should clear its orders. And I'll tell it to move through that warp point. There we go. And we'll process the turn. We have new tech level. Interesting. We have Starfleet Command 1. We have new tech area discovered. And we have a new colony. Outstanding. Well, first things first, we're going to colonize that world. Then we'll go ahead and, excuse me, we'll go back to our and we will go to the world we just colonized, which is this one. Now you see this little rock-like emblem here? That means the planet's colonized, but it's a dome. It means it's non-breathable atmosphere. So the amount of facilities on this planet as well as population have a hard-coded cap until the planet gets terraformed, in which case it would increase the population and facility numbers on this world tremendously. But we're a long ways off from terraforming this world. So what we want to do, though, we want to use it to our best of our abilities. It has low mineral, medium organics, and low radioactive or dilithium. So really it's of no value to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign it, should be an option here, only latest. I'm going ahead and assign it as a research. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 research and a shipyard. If I can find my shipyards. Might be up here at the top. There they are. Planetary construction yard, planetary capital. We're going to go to the construction yard and a resupply depot. And that leaves one slot open, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll add an intelligence center just for shits and giggles. Got to keep an eye on our numbers. If we go to our statistics, it tells us that we're burning through radioactives and organics pretty rapidly here. But we have a positive for dilithium or for minerals, which is good. We want that. Process our turn. And we have another Mayflower ready. And photon grenades, infantry only. Interesting. That's good to have. You'll want to place troops on your world as soon as possible, because 20 troops, I usually like to have about 50 per planet, and they keep the peace and they also help prevent against invasion and things. So we'll go ahead and send our third colony ship on its way. As you can see, it's picked up colony. Now there's nothing in the build queue, it's empty, and which is fine. For now, we'll go couple more turns, then I'll end the video and see how it looks. And we've got ourselves a research complex, and another Mayflower is on our way. We have a new system. As you notice, I haven't been giving orders to my scouts because I don't want them to get too far ahead of my colonizers. They run into a problem, and then the AI is going to know we're here. Well, the AI knows we're here, but it'll start targeting us, and we want to avoid being targeted for as long as possible. Now, the warp point in this system is this little purple one, so I'm going to go ahead and tell the ship to go through her. We'll come back here, and I'm not seeing my ship. There she is. She's working her way down there. Good way to find your ships, if you know there's some out there, is just to click on the ship icon. It shows you and gives you a bunch of options, orders, maintenance, fleet, cargo. You can sort by all of these things. One thing Aaron Hall did really well with this game is he gave the players so many options for sorting and for, control. They called it spreadsheet in space. Well, good, because it's a lot of fun when it's kicking in and you got all these control options that a lot of the newer games simply do not have, or they've implemented very poorly. Space Empires, in its implementation, was bar none the best implementation of a 4X game. Granted, the graphics are a little dated, but it's one guy making a game in his basement, between jobs. So, come on. And this game has endured for 15 years now. It's on Steam. That's where I picked this version of it up at. I've got like 5 discs for this game, but I couldn't resist, spending a couple more dollars just so that I'd have it on this computer. But because I don't know where any of my discs are, and I'm too lazy to go find them. We have Phaser Cannon 2, which is just a railgun. Photon Torpedo. Yeah, I really should update this mod at some point. Looks like we have a new system. We have a new world. 2 worlds we can colonize now. Outstanding. So what we'll do is we'll go back to our home world and we'll tell it to knock off 2 more colony ships. Mayflowers. Iron 2. Just to be on the safe side, I want to see, yep, we just have 2. You notice how the send colony ship lights button is darkened out? Well, it's darkened out because we don't have any colony ships. If we had colony ships, we could send them on their way, but we don't, so we can't. And the ship is still en route. Normally, you can rename these ships if you want to. Like, if I wanted to, I could rename the Adventure the USS Adventure or whatever, but I'm not going to. It's kind of lame. It's not lame. It's actually a lot of fun to do, but just for these smaller ships and just for this test version, it's a little not needed. So, anyways, she's still en route. How's her fuel? Her fuel's doing good. She has no damage. She has 2 movements available to her. And we have a new colony ship. And we have a new colony. So let's go to the colony first. You see this little icon here? That tells me that this colony needs, it's in a different star system, and it requires a specific facility. And I'm going to go ahead and find that facility. It should be a, like a spaceport facility. Planetary defense, resource fabrication, research, Starfleet, intelligence, construction yard, resupply depot. Well, let's see what resupply depot is. Replace ships in throughout the region. Construction yard, planetary capital. That's what we want. We want a planetary capital. And right now, this planet's not going to be producing any resources, so it's okay if the planetary capital's down here. It'll be done in 1, 2, 3, 4 turns anyways. And let's go ahead and see what our production ability. Ooh, that has some excellent mining production. So we'll just go directly to its queue, and we'll process up some mining, and of course mineral storage, because we need the extra storage. Alright, and we have a colony ship ready to go, so let's go ahead and colonize the ship. Normally you would pick your colonies by the values. I'm not really concerned by that. Right now it doesn't matter to me. Strategically, it would. If I was playing this game on play by web, I would very much be target selecting what planets I colonize. I'd play the game very differently if I was on play by web. Which you can do. You can play this game against others. And some of these games, they go 3, 4, 5 years. One game I played, I think, lasted almost 7 years. So it was a long game. I lost, but you know, it was still fun. Looks like we hit the jackpot on planets. So we're going to definitely colonize the more valuable one at this point. Start pumping out colony ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got down here, and we shall check our supply route. She has plenty of supplies. And let's just keep heading south. You know, for fun. And let's go ahead and tell you to go ahead and at this point and head north. Some of these warp points may not be stable, and it will cause some damage to the ships. We're doing pretty good, so let's go ahead and let's go east or west. Alright, at this point I want to see how the other players are doing, if they're even doing any good. So the main ones, of course, are these. The rest of these are neutral players. They don't have any value. You just basically conquer them. They might have some powerful weapons, so be warned, if you try to conquer them, it'll be a pain in the tail. Alright. I thought we selected that. Let me check that. I thought I told it to... Oh, no, I guess I didn't. My bad. And we'll do it next turn. We're going to go ahead and send another colony ship. And process turns. Here we are, Cardassians. And it looks like the Cardassians are doing dilithium construction and research. This is kind of a cheat, by the way, so you can see what they're doing. If we go to scores, we're in second. A neutral is in first. The Cardassians are in third, and the Klingons are pretty much not even on the board yet. So Cardassians are doing their thing. Yes, I want to end the turn. Here we are, the Klingon Empire. Klingons actually down below us, and they're just doing their Klingon stuff. Klingon AI is a lot more aggressive. Then again, it's not optimized for this game at this point, because I gotta go back through and optimize it, and it's very time consuming. You don't want to watch me doing that because it involves all editing the data files and things, and it's really easy to do, but I want to open up the data file and set up the game according to the data file, so that means I have to have 2 windows open to do it, and it's kind of a drag to watch me do that. So anyways, we have a new colony, of course, and it'll need its planetary capital. So planetary capital is supply yard, and let's go ahead and just give an organic center of that lithium. They're kind of shitty, but what the hey. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and tell the game to save. I'll give it a name. Test play. And with that, I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.